After the unfortunate death of Pan, Super Saiyan 4 Gohan's inner potential exploded in a fit of rage and Super Saiyan 5 was born. In Dragon Ball AF Chapter 4, we begin up at the lookout where Dende is overlooking the events taking place and how Gohan has reached a new incredible level of power. The entire earth is shaking because of the intensity of his new transformation. When Gohan loses something important, he totally loses his reason, Mr. Popo says. I can feel an incredible will to kill in his ki. With this, he can even be Aiza's perfect form, Dende agrees. But we can't use the Earth's Dragon Balls now, so it means we can't bring Pan back to life. He takes a glance back at the Dragon Balls, wondering what would Goku do right now. Back on the battlefield, Aiz is in a panic now that Gohan's new transformation is severely overpowering him. Incredible, Vegeta says. He was still holding that much power? Gohan launches himself at Aiz again in a blitz of blinding speed and attacks him in a flurry of punches. Aiz holds his face as for the first time since his first transformation, he's actually felt pain and is driving him insane. Gohan appears above him and lands a crushing kick to the side of the face fueled by anger, sending Aiz flying into the cliffs nearby. His anger continues to spill over as Gohan powers up again, his ki constantly rising with no end in sight. Much like Dende and Mr. Popo said, the entire planet is experiencing earthquakes of devastating magnitude as all over the world, buildings are trembling and collapsing from the intensity of Gohan's power. Back on the planet of the Kais, Kibito Kai asks Elder Kai just what the heck this new transformation from Gohan is. It looks like Gohan's anger released the full extent of his hidden power, he replies. This shape is what we call the Super Saiyan 5. Super Saiyan 5, Kibito Kai asks, shocked. So this is a Super Saiyan 5? So it must mean he's much stronger. Well, when Gohan forcefully became a Super Saiyan 4, his potential started to release, Elder Kai goes on. In fact, it looks like it was fully awakened by Pan's death. Kibito Kai asks that this should mean the Earth should be saved now, right? And while Elder Kai agrees that right now it seems the danger should be out of the way, this doesn't necessarily mean Earth will be without conflict. If you guys are enjoying Dragon Ball AF Remastered, consider leaving a like on the video to let me know that you guys want me to finish this story in its entirety, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Dragon Ball and comic content. But without further ado, let's hop into Chapter 4 of Dragon Ball AF, titled mysteriously as Goku's Whereabouts. Back at the battlefield, Aiz flies out of the mountainside Gohan lodged him in with his last attack, and he is angrier than ever now, but still nowhere close to the rage Gohan feels after what he just did to Pan. It's impossible for such a guy to exist, he thinks to himself. All my strength is useless against him. I can't forgive that. I definitely can't forgive that. I'll settle this now with my full power, he says to himself. From above them in the sky, Aiz declares that he'll make them and this planet disappear. This is similar to the angle that Goku took during his Warp Kamehameha in the Cell games. However, Aiz knows that he can survive in the vacuum of space unlike them, so he doesn't have to hold anything back in vaporizing this entire planet. Aiz starts manifesting an obscenely ridiculous amount of ki in the center of his hands, putting all of his energy into this next attack. He raises his hand as his attack expands, but Gohan isn't budging. He says that he'll never forgive a monster like him for what he did to Pan, killing her like she was nothing. You're nothing but trash, he tells Aiz as tears well up in his eyes. Aiz launches his attack down to the ground below, forcing Gotenks and Vegeta to evacuate the area before they get vaporized too. As the blast moves closer, Gohan begins charging his own final Kamehameha to clash with this attack. He launches his Kamehameha into the sky, pouring out an overwhelming amount of his ki, and in one of the most beautiful shots in this manga so far, completely pierces through Aiz's full power attack. Just the intensity of this massive attack levels the battlefield and blows away Vegeta and Gotenks, who are still spectating nearby. Aiz becomes completely overwhelmed by Gohan's attack that rips through his own, and we finally get to see shock and horror on the face of this monster who caused so much pain as he knows that this is it. Aiz is engulfed by Gohan's superior Kamehameha and launched into space where he's blown to pieces, and this is finally the conclusion of Aiz, the son of Frieza. Gohan comes out of his Super Saiyan 5 transformation and goes back to his base form, where he instantly falls to his knees and can no longer hold back the tears. The battle may be over, but what was lost here for him to gain this power is irreplaceable. The only person to have their life taken was never supposed to be a part of this fight in the first place, and as a father, I'm sure he feels like he completely failed her. Down in hell, Frieza can't believe that he was bested by the Saiyans again. However, Piccolo knows that this win came at such a cost, things will never be the same. Seeing Gohan this helpless, he even blames himself for his own lack of strength as well, wishing he could have done more to protect them, especially in the absence of Goku, who would have gladly died for both Gohan and Pan. Gotenks finally unfuses as Trunks walks over to Gohan with Pan still in his arms, saying that for the time being, they should all go heal at the lookout. Goten picks up the still unconscious Oob and the Z-Fighters all head to Kami's lookout. Up on King Kai's planet, the ever-spectating Kai says that it seems the conflict is over for now, however the situation could become troublesome again soon. When the Z-Fighters all make it to the lookout, Dende heals up everyone and is able to awaken Oob as well, who wakes up shocked after missing the majority of the battle, asking where is Aiz. Trunks informs him that Gohan actually defeated him. However, the cost of such a victory can't be overstated. He then learns about the death of Pan is what pushed Gohan to a new level of power, but if and how they're even able to revive her is now the issue at hand. Gohan asks Dende if he's sure that they can't use the Dragon Balls, to which Dende replies that, well, there is a way, but right now the Dragon Balls are. But all of a sudden, he's cut off by a voice that they all recognize, but they can't see calling out to them. It's the Elder Kai over on the planet of the Kais. Yes, I know everything about the current situation, he says. And Gohan, I understand your feelings very well, but for now, I have something to tell you about the Dragon Balls. I'll start with the conclusion. You can't use the Dragon Balls now. Well, you said now, Gohan says. Does that mean we'll be able to use them at some point in the future? Elder Kai tells him to not be so hasty as he goes on to explain in order. So to start with the beginning, this all goes back to around 3 years ago, he says, during the battle with Omega Shenron. Back then, Goku actually died, which shocks everyone, but at this moment, when he was in that crater, Shenron spoke to him saying that he'll lend him his strength, but there is a condition. This current situation, Shenron tells him, is that this is the reality that they've all created by constant use of the Dragon Balls, and that's why it must be solved by their hands. In short, it means that you will take the responsibility in place of Earth, he tells Goku. Goku tells him that if that's the case, he'll do whatever is needed. Shenron tells him that he'll have to give him his body once this is all over with, but if he's able to save the universe one last time, this is no biggie for Goku. So with that, Shenron loans his power to Goku, bringing him back to life, and the events of the conclusion of the battle with Omega Shenron play out how we all remember. After Omega Shenron's defeat, Goku had taken responsibility by giving up his body to seal that negative energy of the Dragon Balls within himself. In short, in order to prevent the negative energy from being released again, Goku was in a constant battle using his own positive energy for all eternity. If we restore the Dragon Balls now, an evil dragon many times stronger than Omega Shenron will be released soon. And for now, you guys don't have the strength to beat that evil dragon, Elder Kai tells them. Trunks asks if Super Saiyan 5 Gohan could beat this new Shadow Dragon, to which Elder Kai replies saying that as a Super Saiyan 5, Gohan could probably beat anyone at this point. But he's afraid that Gohan isn't able to turn into a Super Saiyan 5 anymore. Not because it was a fluke or anything, but in that time, it was a miracle that he transformed because it was the first time that he was in such a state of excitation, grudge, and will to kill. He was able to transform in the first place. Now that Aiz is dead, Gohan can't just replicate that emotional state. However, Elder Kai says he has a little idea. Gohan, Vegeta, I'll train you both and then you turn into Super Saiyan 5s. You can do that, Trunks asks? I'm not entirely sure, Elder Kai responds, but I'll help you in whatever way I can. Vegeta says if the training is a success, then and only then will they break the seal on the Dragon Balls. Dende then asks if it would be possible if they could use the Namekian Dragon Balls to revive Pan, but Elder Kai swiftly replies that it's impossible to do so. Porunga is much stronger than Shenron, meaning that the negative energy released by the wishes from him would also be much stronger, and there's no doubt that if we use them again, an evil dragon would be released, far stronger than the ones released on Earth. The truth is, I'm already reluctant on restoring the Earth's Dragon Balls. However, with the situation being what it is, it's not like I can stop you from doing such either. Moreover, I don't want to put such a burden on Goku's shoulders alone. A pretty demanding journey awaits them all, as Elder Kai says that it's now the trial for all Earthlings. This time around, they all have to surpass their limits, not just Gohan and Vegeta, because this will take the best from all of them. Vegeta demands to become a Super Saiyan 5 as soon as possible and for Elder Kai to start training them immediately. However, Pan is still dead, and Gohan would like to at least let the rest of their family know what happened. So Kibito Kai suggests that maybe Vegeta can begin the training alone at first if Gohan needs a bit more time. He comes to retrieve Vegeta and the two of them leave while Gohan, Oob, Goten, and Trunks head back down to Earth to inform everyone of what's about to happen next. Back at Gohan's house, he unfortunately has to break the news to Videl and then Chi-Chi as well, in one of the saddest moments this Dragon Ball timeline has experienced since the departure of Goku for good. The next day, however, Gohan and the others begin their training in order to restore the Dragon Balls, as Gohan says that he'll do whatever it takes to bring his daughter back. In other words, Elder Kai's training is about to begin as soon as Gohan arrives alongside Vegeta as they prepare to unseal Goku and the Dragon Balls after 3 years, bring Pan back to life, and defeat whatever dragons are released from this negative energy.